welcome back to the two Bartys. That's right, we are back here again from the same sofa, in the same t-shirts, on the same day, but sent out at a different time for you to bring you our sort of little lockdown specials here. So the two Bartys is all about me and...
Me.
That'll be James. All about us having a look at some of the things that are making the automotive headlines in Auto Express. Now we've gone back a few copies, so we are back at the very early part of March where we've had a look at the Fiat 500. We're now going to take a little look at the Mini Electric. Now these two vehicles will be competing against each other in that same marketplace. They both are around about £30,000 for the sort of launch editions. We've yet to see much more news on the pricing, but I'm going to pass you over to our resident small car expert here, Mr. James, as he gives you his opinion on, does he prefer the Fiat 500 on the front or does he prefer the Mini? James, over to you.
Right, the first thing I can say about these two cars is one looks cute and compact and the other looks a bit more muscly and a bit more full on. I'd prefer the interior in the Mini. You've got the big round
screen, yeah, the infotainment screen,
what he said, and then we've got just loads of other quite high-techy looking things in the Mini's interior, when in the Fiat it's more simplistic, less gadgets and gizmos to mess about with. So yeah, that's all I can really say from what I'm looking at. I would have the Fiat because of its looks and the simplisticness of the interior. It isn't too much to get your head round. So I just think if you want a simple car that doesn't take too much faffing with or too much to get your head round, go for the Fiat. If you want kind of a more gadgets and full-on electric hot hatch kind of thing, you go for the Mini. So yeah, that's really my view on the Fiat and the Mini.
There you go, quite comprehensive there. But if we look at some of the statistics as well, you prefer the Fiat.
Yeah.
How far can the Fiat do on a charge, based on the figures that we've seen in the press? You don't know. Clearly you need to re-watch episode 1, but it was just under 200 miles an hour. Now if we go over to the Mini in contrast has a figure of only 144 miles. Now for most of the people in the world that will make very, very little difference, because we know that if you're commuting short distances, not so much during this lockdown period, but if you are able to move freely and your nearest town is 10 miles away or your commute to work is 20 miles away in total, then you can obviously get some really good use for your working week. However, with my standard commute that I do, I travel about 180 miles a day, so an electric vehicle isn't the most suitable vehicle for me at the moment, unless you go for a larger range, which means a higher cost of vehicle generally. So 144 miles could be a concern for some people with those elements of range anxiety while they're getting used to this type of vehicle. So for that reason, if we were to do a head-to-head with the two vehicles based on looks and the range, for a small city car in electric, I would have to also go with the Fiat 500. Now, that's not just the easy option because it's a cute Italian city car. I also own an original shape Mini Cooper, and we also own a 2005, had it since brand new, Mini Cooper as well, one of the first BMW ones. So we've always had a long-standing affinity with the Mini, but I just find in the latest generation it's a little bit fat. Yeah, it's a little bit fat. It's a fantastic car, but for me and for us over here, the two Bartys, it feels like it's lost a little bit of what made Mini Mini. But that could be about to change in the future, and we've seen as well, using our information from our friends at Auto Express, that there is a new smaller Mini coming out which will be pure electric. Although it is only speculation, it's looking to replace this current generation, so that could be coming up in the next few years. So we will share pictures of that with you, the artist's impression, before this video ends, so you can have a little look at that and let us know in the comments what you think. So again, thank you all for being with us on this episode about the Mini Electric. Hopefully there was even some information there, great information from James, and getting his viewpoint on these cars, which is the thing that really matters. So if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe to our page, and look out for those images of the Mini before this video ends. From the two Bartys here in lockdown, it's goodbye.